Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened, as I said it would. People will be... Oh, when have we got Leeds? Oh man, now then, people were literally what? I don't know, 6-7 hours away. Lasted an hour. It lasted an hour, people. Please smash a like on the video. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. I had my kit off and lot. I had my kit off and lot ready for a nap. Back at 10. I was considering going live with the Ian Matson, Charlie Taylor cards are falling. Will he, won't he move to Burnley? And then I seen that he's not feeling it, so I thought, nah, let's leave it. And then thank you to everyone, by the way, who sent me the stuff. And at first, because I seen it on Instagram, someone sent it me first, so big up to you. I forget the name off the top of my head. I seen it first on Instagram, and I thought it was a mock-up. I thought someone's taking the piss. And then I went on Twitter, and yeah. Luis Sinisterra, what did I tell you this morning? For those that have watched every single stream, I said this morning, right, that if you go back to the articles that were released yesterday, there was talk of a loan. There was talk of a loan, putting the feelers out there, right? And then this happens. It's almost as if they knew, right? It's almost as if they knew that this was going to be a potential thing that was going to happen. Let's not 49ers out. Let's not overreact. Yeah. I've seen people saying he's a crock and that. Come on. Let's not go mental here. Let's chill out. Let's not react too much. And that's coming from a guy who's so reactionary. The deal will get done. I know there's a lot of people saying, oh, it's not done yet. Yeah, it will be done, right? The loan thing, I'm not sure. I don't know. Listen, I'm not privy to FFP and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know, right? You would hope that they have signings lined up. They're ready to move, right? Sinisterra's going to leave, by all accounts. Mixed reports, but we'll go through it all. Paintsil's not gone yet. He could still be an option. We won't get Elias Chair. We've not been linked to him once, so I don't see that happening. Paintsil's one. Moss says, just loaned our best player 5 hours before the window closes. Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine a replacement. Let's not think that just because he's loaned, we're not going to get a replacement. I don't think that'll be true. We will try and follow it through. Graham Smith, this was 16 minutes ago, said Leeds United are set to reach an agreement with anyone over Luis Sinisterra. Oh, sorry, Leeds United are yet to reach an agreement with anyone over Luis Sinisterra. Bournemouth, as reported by Fabrizio Romano, very keen to get it done. There's Premier League and overseas interest. Graham says, we've been writing all week. Sinisterra's situation has felt so uncertain. Wouldn't be hanging my hat on him staying. Someone asked him, will they replace him? And he says, that's been the message all week too. If he is to go, they're expected to respond regardless of who exits. Who that is, not too sure. I've got a feeling it could be Paintsil. But what we can't have is him messing us around, because Paintsil was supposed to go to Leeds, to Southampton, and back again, and then Burnley. I don't know if it'll be... Listen, there was obviously chat. From what I was told, right, it was due to the number of loans. I believe Leeds United have maxed out their international loan, so therefore Sinisterra can't leave outside of the UK. I believe. It was something along those lines, and the contractual issue was over that, and whether or not he would still be allowed to leave. That's what I was told. I don't know if that's correct or not. But yeah, look, Sinisterra is going to be leaving us. Solbakken could be an option, although I think Solbakken potentially has already gone to Olympiacos. Mike says, sorry, Leeds, get a grip. We need to get out of this league. Look, Sinisterra coming out doesn't stop us still being a top team in this division. Yeah. Let's not rewrite it. Because we'd still have Somerville, we'd still have Nonto, we'd still have, the rest of the team. Sinisterra is amazing. Sinisterra is the best player for me. I've stood by that, even when I was told Nonto was by people in this very chat. But we still will still be all right. It's still all right. Yes, one player, an amazing player, but we're still going to be all right. Joe, we're not getting a replacement. You know it. No, I don't know it, and I think we will get a replacement, mate. Joe said his agent told him to deliver or be shot when he returned home. I don't know what you mean, bro. Michael, that is crazy. That is absolutely insane. So Sinisterra is the difference between top 6 for Leeds United. That's mental, bro. Chill out. That's massively reactionary, and that's coming from the reactionary master. Let me go back then and look through the actual news. Obviously, let's not forget LUFC Fanzone's tweet just 2 hours ago. They're not having a good time with it. Luis Sinisterra leaving training 10 minutes ago says he is not leaving. Footballers, man, they tell lies. We should know. 10 minutes ago, after he'd left, which was 2 hours ago, so 2 hours, 10 minutes ago. And he's now hot tipping it down to Bournemouth to join up with Max Aarons and Tyler Adams. Listen, I wish him well, but he's a top player. I have no ill feeling towards Sinisterra. He wants to play at a high level. It is what it is. Bournemouth definitely interested in him. LUFC data says, what did we do to Andoni Iraola? Not content with turning Leeds down months ago, he pinched Max Aarons, taken Tyler Adams, and now he wants Sinisterra on loan. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Just try remain relaxed about it. We need the money from a transfer fee to replace him. We don't need money. Leeds United aren't going to sanction a loan if it's not going to be in the best interests of them. Okay? So don't worry. Don't get all stressed over the loans like we did before, because we got stressed over the loans and we still brought in £30 million worth of players. Right? So let's not think that because it's a loan, that means we can't do anything. Leeds United will do something, in my opinion. This was the original tweet coming out from Fabrizio Romano. Bournemouth reach verbal agreement to sign Sinisterra from Leeds. Here we go, he says, which normally to me means done. Graham Smith's saying otherwise, but when Fabrizio normally says, here we go. Now, of course, he can't always be right. But he said, understand it's a loan move for winger set to travel for medical. Luis Sinisterra could be on his way out of the football club. If Leeds, let's have a look. Update on QPR's Ilias Chair. Leicester not ruled out a 6 million deadline day move. Club expected to be busy with various. That was yesterday, though. I don't see Leeds being after Ilias Chair because we've not once been properly linked with him. This is Graham Smith's article that was published just 4:15, which was just 6 minutes ago. Big up to Graham Smith, hot on the press. Let's see what he's had to say. I'll just get down to the juicy bits, talking about Ipswich there. If Sinisterra was to depart Leeds today, they would be expected to respond and replace him with another striker. Okay, that's it, really. Sinisterra in the final house appears to be along. Yeah, so there's nothing really in there that we don't know already. It was clear in the aftermath that Adams' desire was to leave Ellen Road and make an instant return to the English top flight. Sinisterra's position in the final hours of the summer window appears to be along the same lines. I think we all sort of knew and expected it. It's a bit shame it's come so late in the window, but what can you do? what can you do right now? Graham Smith, as I say, believes that we'll have someone lined up if indeed he was to exit. We do need him. I agree with everyone's reactions. And, as I've said to you, he becomes, for me, the best player in the league. And just to add more further insult to injury, because I know a few people thought it had been accepted. The bid had been accepted, but the player had rejected. And that is, of course, Ian Maatsen. Ian Maatsen is set to reject a move to Burnley. The Blues did accept a 31.5 million loan with obligation to buy deal, and Ian Maatsen has turned them down. That seemed to be the original rumblings that were coming out from the football club and from other people anyway, to say that he was going to reject it, which is disappointing, because when I did originally see that, I thought, get in. That's the dominoes that we're waiting to fall. I even had my thumbnail guy make me a sick little graphic. I was ready to go. And then I've seen that Ian Maatsen might reject. And I was like, oof, let's wait a little bit. Let's have that nap that you so rightly deserve. I mean, look at that for a graphic. It was ready to go. It was ready to go. And unfortunately, Ian Maatsen's going to stay at Chelsea, which means, of course, Charlie Taylor will probably stay at Chelsea. Let's have a look what else is being said in the comments. It's going to be one that's going to rumble on, I think. Where did Everton get 38 million their skin? Who's Everton? What are we on about? Liam Horsley, big up to you, my man. He says Cine out to win, potentially. This is so wild. Leeds United are one of the best teams in the division, regardless. You've seen the teams that we've played. They're shit. They're absolutely garbage. And yes, you might say, well, you've only got 4 points, but we know why. The team now, without Sinisterra, still is great for this division. I think it's wild to think that but Jamie, there are, come on, there are reasons as to why. There are reasons to why. It's mad that just because Cine's going to go, all of a sudden everyone's saying that's us. You can massively disagree. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But our team, like my man here, Hemro says, is still unbelievable for this division. I'll go through it again if you like. Meslier and Darlow in goal, right? Right back, Jed Spence. Centre back, Rodon Strauch. Left back, okay. We ain't got one, but it's still all right with the options that we will have there when everyone's fit. In midfield, you now have Ampadu, Kamara, Gruyev, Gray. Up front, you have Joel Pirro. Mateo Joseph behind him, Bamford behind that, yeah? And then also on the right and left, you've got Nonto, you've got Somerville, you've got James. Yeah? Yes, he is our best player, but one team does not a winner make. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was amazing against Ipswich, but there was 3 other scorers on that football pitch. I just think it's mad to think that he now means we're done. Of course, for me, we're better with him in the side. Look here, Lord Benny. One sec, Lord Benny. As a Saints fan, I was worried for you until 2 weeks ago. Now I reckon you're a force. And that is regardless of having Sinisterra. Yes, it's disappointing to lose him. But we've brought in this week, folks, Pirro, Spence, Gruyev, Kamara. That is bodies of a different level to what the majority outside of Leicester and Southampton are able to bring in. I honestly don't see it being that catastrophic that some people think now we're going to get mid-table. Rutter as well. Well, Jamie, you don't have to accept it. TalkSport said it's loan to buy for just 25 million. I mean, I hope that's wrong, but there you go. Look, at the end of the day, Daniel Farke was pretty confident they'll stay. Ultimately, they've got rid of someone from under him. So he now will get another player for me. Maybe you get 2. Maybe you can fill a left back. Yeah, we've made some fantastic signings. This is why I don't understand. Demar, man, you're on the wind up, surely, bro. Come on now. Yeah, indeed, he's staying chair deal off. I know. I just don't see Leeds United ever being serious about chair. Bigger clause expired, just don't sell. We don't know what's going on. Maybe he always wanted that mood. I love the calm, Joe. Let's just wait and see what happens. We are doing. Yeah, Jeff, I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna lose my head over it because it can't be helped. I think we all expected this. I was buzzing when I thought it might not happen. After the press conference, genuinely, I thought that'll be us till 10 o'clock when I get a few heads on a stream and we can just chat and have a chinwag and see the deadline come in. Now it's going to be, you know what I mean? But yeah, Luis probably going to be exiting, but we'll have to wait and see. It's not been confirmed yet. Fabrizio says yes. Graham says not yet. So we'll wait and see. Russ Go says, I love Cine, but he's very injury prone. There is that, but again, I don't want to use that as a way to be okay with him leaving because I'm not okay with him leaving, but I understand it. What can you do? At least he's the only one. I mean, you might get a different side of me if they went, oh, Everton have reached an agreement with Nonto. Then I'd be like, wow. Then I would shit the bed. But yeah. Yeah, but football don't work like that, unfortunately, bro. They'll have their reasons for accepting it. For all we know, there may be contractual issues. There may be financial issues. They may have been offered them money they can't refuse, and they said, "Do you know what, Daniel? With that money, we can go out and get Paintsil and a left back. Yeah, do it, okay." Because the players said throughout, he said throughout that he wants to exit. We know that, don't we? He's been pretty decent about it with the way he's behaved. Sam, yeah, he is, Sam. If you can keep him fit, Sam, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. Definitely. He just didn't stay fit enough for us. If he stayed fit enough for us last season, we'd have stayed up. Much like Tyler Adams. You basically took the two best signings we made. So good luck to you. I'm telling you now, we lose Nonto. No, I don't think we do, Yeboah. I don't think. Deadline's at 11, Lit Jibber. Deadline's at 11. Yeah, I don't disagree. But we have other match winners in the side as well. Yeah, I don't think this looks. Solbacken's already gone to Olympiacos. I think everyone, unless that's changed, folks. Nah, they're on the wind up. Surely, it is Adam and Eve. It is. I think it's copium. You're using it as a coping mechanism. He will go now. He will go now because even if he don't go Bournemouth, other clubs are alerted. There's a deal to be done there. Fabrizio gave it. Here we go. That puts pressure on it. He won't be playing at Leeds United. He won't be playing tomorrow. Definitely not. That's when I don't know. I don't know that, mate. Maybe that's when an offer came in. We might not have had an offer up to that point. Big up Asif Rahman, who's become a member. Thank you for joining the Just Joe Football Show. Matthew, he's going to pass his medical, isn't he? There's still people that think when you're injured, you can't pass medicals. Trust me, he's passing a medical. Sorry, I'm just going to open my window. A little bit warm in here now. Let's get into that. Yeah, big up. Phil here says no deal for Cine as of yet. Unless Fabrizio literally has gone far too early and he's got it wrong. Let's have a look. Don't listen to 25 million. Don't listen to Graham Bailey. Trust me when I say this guy is a Middlesbrough fan. He's a Leeds hating bastard and he doesn't know shit, right? Graham Bailey said Man United were getting a better deal signing Anthony over Rafinha. Anthony is probably the worst 90 million spent ever on a player. My man's a fidget spinner. Do not listen to what Graham Bailey's got to say. And I say that with chest. The guy's a Middlesbrough fan. He hates Leeds United. Don't listen to anything he says because he never gets it right and his football opinions are whack. Facts. Anyway. So don't listen to that man. If it's coming from Phil or other people, not from him. Watching the stream, but thought it was funny if Fab got this wrong. That would be funny, Jonesy, but unfortunately, I think it won't be. But we'll share it. Just the Just for purpose. There we go. Look. With the block. Let's hope it comes to fruition, mate. But we'll wait and see. Let's have a look. We've, as I say, big up to Phil. Rad's Music says if one player means that, then we have bigger problems. I'm not sure what that means, bro. Ask again. Did Tyler push for this? Yeah, Tyler Adams wanted to go, mate. Yeah. All right. Okay. What he meant was, if our season is based on one player, then we have bigger problems. Exactly. Exactly, Lily. We've had a Phil tweet. Let me just have a look now. Just bear with us 1 sec. I'm behind on notifications. Jack Tanner says might just be semantics, but Sinisterra is on his way to London to complete a medical. Sorry, so he has been given permission. Jack Tanner also reporting that Leeds have agreed a deal for Bournemouth. Let's have a look. 1 second. I'm trying to see the Phil tweet that people have mentioned. I'm still yet to see it. We've seen a few people mention it. Let's have a look. Mike McGrath says Bournemouth have bid for Leeds forward Luis Sinisterra in a loan deal. LUFC have reintegrated into the first team squad after training on own and clearly have wanted him to stay. But clearly that's changing. I can't see the Phil stuff. I've missed it. Let me have a look. Can someone tag me in it? 'Cause can't see it currently on my notifications. So if you could tag me in it, that'd be great. Yeah, that's all Dale UFC though. Has Phil said it is self, or is that from an article? Or let's have a look. Loan offer, right? Okay, this is 33 minutes ago. Loan offer for Luis Sinisterra from Bournemouth per Mike McGrath. Not the only club interested, but Bournemouth pushing for him. No deal in place with Bournemouth at this stage, but next few hours will be telling. Leeds are very keen to keep him, but he sees himself at a higher level and has been discussed several times. There's a wrangle over his contract. This must have been the legality issue. Sinisterra, like so many players, had a release clause which expired in the middle of August. It was the dispute over that deal which saw him step away from training for a while. And I believe, as I was told anyway, that was due to the loans outside of the UK being done. And maybe now they've found a loophole to say, well, we'll go in the UK then. And I don't know. Let me share with you the article. Big up to Wade Richardson, who's also become a member of Just Joe FC. Big up to you, mate. Listen, we've got 1,800 people watching currently live. If you haven't already, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. Just have a look at your comments. Let me just take this off the screen. What I'm going to do, first of all, before we go through the rest of the comments, I just want to share the article in The Athletic for you that stays this. So this was 19 minutes ago. Bournemouth trying to sign Sinisterra. They're trying to reach an agreement with Leeds. 24-year-old's future at Ellen Road has been uncertain this summer, and a move to Bournemouth would allow him to return to the Premier League. They were involved in that contractual wrangle, which saw him excluded from the first team. He was back in the squad last week. There has been a host of exit from Leeds, with Cody Drammer the latest to leave Johnny Birmingham. Tyler Adams has already made the switch between so it's just a waiting game now, isn't it? Waiting really to hear any more news coming out. Baron Cross has said Leeds, 2 minutes ago, Leeds maintain there's no agreement with Bournemouth for Sinisterra as it stands, but interest is there, as it is at several clubs, home and abroad. There you go, Baron Cross at the back post. Bam. That would be nice. That would be nice. If maybe Leeds United pull another nonto and say, you're going nowhere, mate. You are going nowhere. Baron Cross at the back post. Must have spoke to someone at the football club. Has Romano deleted the Cine tweet? Has he gone too soon, peeps? Conor McGilligan's just asked if Romano has deleted. I'm sure Romano might have. Let's have a look. I'm having a look as we speak, folks. 40 minutes ago. No, he hasn't. It's still there. It's still there. It still exists. So he hasn't deleted it, because I was about to get excited then when I thought he deleted. I was thinking, oh wow, it's game over if he's deleted it. Let's have a look what's been said. Lockie's made some potential replacements just in case we thingy some. Yeah, the Darren Whitcup thing, I'm not too sure on Ilias Chair. I'd be happy with a Raksaki loan. Leeds maybe slowing it down so we can get a replacement. We'll wait and see. I want to sort of like keep them on ice till 10 o'clock. I don't want to start. I want to be able to chat later on. Do you know what I mean? So, but I feel that at this point it is just going to be a case of us waiting, isn't it? I don't even know if we can end this now, to be honest. I know it's 5 o'clock, but it's going to be one of them, innit? This is now going to rumble on. So I think we might have to let and just bring people in, to be honest. So it is what it is. Let me invite some peeps in. I'm gonna speak to Liam. I think Liam was gonna come on as well. I'll just send that out. Sorry, I've had a message from a few other content creators. I just need a message. Just 1 minute, folks. Right, okay, I've sent the link out. I feel like we're gonna be. Jay says Cine isn't leaving. I'm not too sure at this point, mate. I can't lie. I think he goes, if I'm honest. We should have had that Ansu Fati. Says I like how you've pronounced that, Ansu Fati. Joe's doing an all-nighter. I don't know about that, mate. Don't know about that, but either cough up the money for Cine or feck off, says someone. Gonna go down to the wire, yes, but who deleted the Bournemouth fan comment? What, in this chat? I hope the people weren't deleting it unless it was derogatory. Please don't, moderators, don't be deleting Bournemouth fans chatting that, even if they're taking the piss. This isn't like a young, don't do that. No one punched us, mate. It's when I'm tired, I get like little scabs here, man, and I picked it. That's all. I'm really tired. That's what always happens. It's a bit of a nightmare, I would tell you if I did, mate. Thought Cine's loan clause expired. Yeah, it has, mate. It has. There you go. John Reboot says huge Leeds fan, but go to see Brighton versus Newcastle tomorrow and hyped to see Ansu. I don't think he'll play, mate. Yeah, mods, please don't be just removing. If this was what was removed, don't do that. Big up to Charlie. He's putting in the cherries. It's only fair. It's a little bit of banter in it. Fair play to you, mate. I ain't gonna sit here and rib you because I think it's only fair. Let's see what's been tweeted here. That one's already been deleted. Whoever's just tagged me in that. Yeah. No, if he was asking questions, please. Oh, he retracted his own. He retracted his own comment. Right, fair enough. That's fine. We move. Nothing on Sky Sports Show. That must mean it's not true, then, Paul. It's still Sky Sports is not the one anymore. It's the yeah. I lost the fight over my. Anyway, right, I've got a guest with me. I've got the lovely Liam. Liam, I seen you getting a bit of grief for tagging me in a tweet, actually. I was about, what's that about?
Did I?
Said, yeah. I think Joe knows how to use Twitter.
I've just seen that.
Yeah. Big up, Liam. How are you doing, mate? What an eventful day it's been so far, and what a shocker it's been in the last half an hour.
I know, yeah. I think we did kind of see it coming, didn't we? We've chatted.
You messaged me this morning and I relayed it on the stream. I said, I've just had a message. People who watched from the start when you were saying about the journalist mentioning the loan and then all of a sudden, boom, a loan. Why do you think it is a loan, bro?
Well, I know that Graham mentioned that it's basically because they want him back next year if we get promoted. So it's a bit of a, look, do you a favour now, come back to us if we get promoted, which I think I would probably rather sell, but that's just not the way it's going to go, is it? It doesn't seem like there's teams like Bournemouth, Everton that want to come in and spend, I don't know, what do you think he's worth? 35, probably?
35, 40. Like, it'd be 35 rising, right? If we want like 30 for Nonto, Sinny's 10 times the player right now for me anyway than he is. So,
and if he has a healthy season, which he hasn't had in a while, in the Premier League for Bournemouth, his value will be way more than that. Way more than that if he has a good year. So, yeah.
So did he say that? Did he say that on the
podcast?
Was it on the Inside Ellen Road podcast? Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned the idea would be obviously if he wants to leave, he can kind of leave but on loan and come back next year if we get promoted, which is a lot of confidence in yourself getting promoted. But
yes, it is.
But yeah, I would hope they have players lined up. I know I told you, didn't I, last Saturday that I was told if City goes, they'll sign 5, and they've signed 3. So whether that's a 10 and a winger, is it a winger and a left back? It'll be some attacker plus something else, but they've only got a few hours now. I think they've been stitched with how late this has come out.
That's the thing. Yeah, I was going to save this sort of stream till 10, but then I've looked at the time and I've looked how long this could go on for, and I think we're in for I think that's it now. I think I'm locked in. I'll be ordering takeaway and that. It looks like it's going to be busy. Joe, what have you made? It was all going so well up to the press conference. I was like, I'm going to go have a nap. I'll do a bit of an end one at 10 o'clock, and then this has happened, right?
We don't have a melodramatic fan base, do we? Me and
Lockie, you seen the comments? Did you see the comments on mine? They all think we're not getting top 6 now.
Some people need to give their head a wobble and have a serious look at themselves in the mirror and realize that some of the stuff that people are saying on Twitter is embarrassing. If I said that stuff, begging players to stay at Leeds, who are you? If you don't want to be here, go away. There's other players we'll get in. Everyone needs to just relax again. It's like we got loads of good news this week, but you're waiting on that one thing to just go mental online about because it didn't go our way. It was always going to be a tricky thing to keep Sinisterra. We knew that. Every journalist,
all 3 of them, really. It was going to be tricky to keep all 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we managed to keep 2 of the 3, fine. I'd rather Nanto left than being perfectly honest.
Yeah, same. I agree. Yeah,
glad to see the back of him. He's annoyed me to the point of this stuff with Everton that come up again today. Stinks of his agent all over it again.
Yeah.
What I will say is Baron Cross has just tweeted out that Leeds maintain there is no agreement between Bournemouth for Sinisterra as it stands, but interest is there as well. There are several clubs abroad interested. Phil Hay has said the deal isn't done, and Graham Smith has said the deal is not done. Also bear in mind, Fabrizio Romano went live with Amiri to Leeds. Here we go. Done deal. Exclusive later. Never happened. So he's not been 100% accurate with Leeds stuff so far. We'll have to wait and see. If Sinisterra goes, Graham Smith said on the Inside Ellen Road podcast last week that if Sinisterra goes, he expects Leeds to bring a replacement in, which Liam's already said. Also, there's been talk about Brandon Thomas Asante today, as well as
I don't want that though. I don't want him in the door, man. That'd be
not
so overwhelming, Joe.
Yeah, but we're talking about the 2 coming in. He's probably 1, and then you're looking at a winger as well, maybe. That's assuming Asante's even real, possibly not. What it could mean is they could go straight in after O'Reilly with a much bigger bid. The other option that looks like there could be there's 2 things here with the Sinisterra thing. They believe the clause expired. So what was said there a few seconds ago about Leeds agreeing to let him go to the Premier League to come back next season. He's the only player I would accept that with because of the talent level that he has. The rest of them I'd gladly never see again back at the club. Yep. But with him, it's a case of if he gets 2 or 3 injury seasons, 2 seasons even injury-free, he's worth 50, 60 million. Easy. And we'll never afford that in a player. So to have that to come back in, there's the book value, and also there is just the simple realization of a player of that quality coming back into your team in the Premier League. Now, there's no guarantee he even has an injury-free season. He could go to Bournemouth, get injured straight away. He could fail a medical. There's an awful lot of stuff that could still happen with this. But assuming he goes, we've got plenty of cover there. And if we do bring in another player, fine. I'm not going to, lose any sleep over a player who doesn't want to be at Leeds, moving away from Leeds. I'll forget about you like that and we'll move on to the next guy because I keep saying this. And there's too many Leeds fans get obsessed with the name on the back of the shirt and not obsessed enough about the badge on the front of the shirt. And I'm very much a Leeds United fan first. Any player, distant second. So if he goes, fine, move on, get a replacement, and then we'll crack on. But according to people who have been right in the transfer window this season so far, they don't believe that a deal has been agreed.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. Apparently, it's popped up on Sky Sports now. Also, the Mail are running with the story that Patson Daka could leave Leicester for Bournemouth. I don't think that'll have any bearing, but it means they're not shy throwing cash about. LUFC lost, says Joe's doing it all night. Daniel Ager says, Joe, this is going good with your guests. Thank you very much, Daniel, and I'm sure the guests are appreciative of the kind
I just
words
taken a break. I was working today. I did the live stream this morning. I was planning on doing the live later on. I was working on a few bits and pieces, and I just went downstairs and went, I'm going to take a break for a bit, play a bit of FIFA during my lunch break, and then I looked at Twitter and went, well, that's the end of that. We're back on.
Yeah, exactly. Mate, I had my kit off and that me. I was ready for nap, light off, everything, blind shut. I went like that, and then my phone went off. For fuck's sake. But we move, man. It's what we're in it for, innit? Lockie, you were sort of, Lockie was that much prepared for it, right? That in our WhatsApp group, he's already put together a list of potential replacements because he was expecting it happening. So, I gutted, but you were expecting it, I guess. To be honest, you maintained it for days now. You've said, he'll go, he's too good. He'll go, he's too good.
Just look at the level of football in the Championship. No one's close to it, in my opinion. I just think it's maybe what Walker Peters, but he might go as well. That level. I still think he's above that, to be honest. He's just too good, isn't he? I don't think. It's getting later and later, but a team would always going to come in for him. He's just too good. I think that it's as simple as that. He's just too good. Yeah. I know it's a loan. If it goes through, it's a loan or whatever. But I don't know. Like if he goes on loan to Bournemouth and plays really well, and you can get 50 million for him next season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
good. But like you said, I'm ready for it. It's just more acceptance.
Let's say, for example, he goes. I know at the minute everyone's fuming, right? The chat's fuming. I'm pretty relaxed about it. I sort of expected it, but it is what it is. What can you do? We're not in charge. If he did leave on loan and we did get promoted, I think the way that he's behaved, I think he, like Joe was saying, out of the players that your likes of your Aronsons, your Adman, they couldn't wait to get out. Max Vobro told us he was staying. He couldn't wait to get out. Sinisterra has, I feel, dealt with it the right way. That for me, because of how good he is, and I'm a bit like, well, if we did get promoted, I would accept him back 100%.
Yeah, I said this to Joe yesterday. It's kind of dirty, in it. You do it depending on the player, but there's a level. And you look at the players that the kind of the reason we went down. He's not one of them. The reason we didn't stay up is because he was injured, right? If he was in the team for that season, we'd have stayed in the Premier League. If we go back to the Premier League and we can save 35 million and we can bring Sinisterra in, I just think there's a level of acceptance where people like Nonto or the other guys that have already left, you could argue they're not good enough to do that and they should be at this level we're at. But with Sinisterra, for me, I don't think there's an argument. I think he's too good for this level. I'd almost feel bad that he was still at Leeds at the end of the window, because if I was him, I'd be like, why am I in Championship? I don't know. I guess you just got to bite your morals sometimes.
Because your knees are made of biscuits, mate. That's why you're in the Championship.
Yeah. True. And if they weren't, he'd have probably gone about 2 months ago. Yeah.
Let me just shout out Saeed TV, big Manchester United fan, but he always shouts me out and that on his stream. So I want to do the same, top guy and top content creator. So if you want to follow any Manchester United stuff, then go over there. He doesn't just cover Manchester United. I'll tell you a funny thing happened last night, actually, on the Big Six. I watch it religiously, and they were ribbing him over Anthony, the winger that they paid 90 million for. And someone noticed that in the background he had a frame with Anthony on it. Wow. So they zoomed in on it. It was brilliant, man. He was like trying to hide. Yeah, it was class. Top guy anyway. Top show is the Big Six. I thought we couldn't loan anyone else this season. I don't know if that's right. We can domestically, right, but not outside
we have one more loan internationally, and we've 3 more domestically. And how old is Sam Greenwood? Is he 21 or 22?
I'm not sure, mate.
22,
in his 20s.
Because that would change the domestic situation if it's because the under 21s don't count. And
he's older than 21, I think.
Quick check, because that would change the domestic loan situation. He is 21, so no, he's not. He's bang on. So he won't count. So Leeds have got 1 domestic loan out, and Jack Harrison, they can get 3 more domestic loans, and they've got 7 international loans. They can get 1 more international loan. And no under 21s. Cody is a loan, so that's domestic. That's 2. So Cine would be 3. There's still a gap. I said this about a month ago. Start loaning lads out quickly in England. Doesn't matter where they go, just get them out to England and close that loophole. But I have a funny feeling this isn't as cut and dry as people think it is. People are like, oh, it's a loan, I can't believe the owners, and they're gone straight after the ownership straight away. There has to be something in this around that legal requirement, that legal issue that was there, and the expiration of his contract. So there's no way. I don't think it's as clear as that. Somebody else has suggested that this might be a loan deal for a week or 2. And then it's made permanent, that Bournemouth want to just get it done quickly to do a loan and then complete the permanent move after the fact, which they can do. So there's possibilities there as well. But we're not he can go on loan. Someone's asked me, I said this exit doesn't change the window for me. I still think it's a very good window. And someone said, how can you say this is a good window if Sinisterra leaves? And my answer is because I'm not melodramatic, and because
we've built a good squad.
We built a really good squad. Exactly. Yeah. This bench
obviously you'd have to replace him, right? That's without saying 100%. But
the reason I don't think it's that big a deal is I don't think there are many players in the championship of his caliber. So losing a player of that caliber doesn't put you at a disadvantage to others. It does remove your advantage slightly, but you're not at a disadvantage.
Yes. Because ultimately, if we pick a first 11, Cine coming out of it still means you've got Somerville and Nonto on the wings, doesn't it? Or James. You know what I mean? It's not as if
maybe room for a 10 then. Maybe there is some funds there. Maybe there's a spot freed up wages to bring a 10 in, you know?
It's not as if we're replacing him with Shaq, though. Do you know what I mean? I'd be meltdown now if the replacement was Jamie Shaq. It's the fact that we've got James, Cine, Somerville.
Why not? Farkas said today he can play in every position. So why?
No, I know, but
why not stick him in the 10?
No, it shouldn't be there though. It's all right at fullback and there's a Swiss Army knife, but you know what I mean? What about this for a development though? Obviously, Ian Matson has been subject to a bid from Chelsea for like 31 million loan with an obligation. There's some debates over whether he's accepted. However, people in the chat are saying that since then that's changed. So yeah, I'm not sure what the crack is there. Is he going to accept it? But surely if that happens, then we can go and get bloody Charlie Taylor, surely. You think Liam?
It's been there the whole window though, hasn't it? It's been there the whole window. So I'm not sure. But I just don't know how much he likes him or not, you know. That transfer seems easy to do, doesn't it? But they've just taken all this time, and we haven't really heard many solid links apart from that one that Phil mentioned, didn't he, on the square ball, where he said something like, "Oh yeah, don't forget Charlie Taylor." But yeah, in theory, it makes a lot of sense, but we just haven't seen many links. And he keeps talking about Firpo in like 3 different press conferences now, playing left back. But yeah, we'll see. This probably changes things if there's either a loan fee or frees up some wages. But yeah, I'm a bit dubious about the Charlie Taylor one because I just think it would have happened weeks ago if it was going to happen.
Do you think it's Liam? Do you think it's one of those ones where it's if we're in a position at the very end to do it, we'll do it, but unless we really have to do it, we won't.
Yeah, because they mentioned about they were unwilling to like sell him was one thing that I heard, and it's almost just like, okay, if there's 3 hours to go, just stick a loan in with a £500,000 loan fee, maybe, because it's not like he lives very far away to rush down and get medical done. But that'll be one that they do it. It'll be last 2 hours of the window, I'd expect.
Yeah.
What about Painter as well? That's the one for me because he's got to fly over as well. And
you want an exciting player to replace Sinisterra. You've got now whether he's up to the level or not is the question. But in terms of an exciting attacking winger, he is an exciting, attractive attacking winger. He will take on people one-on-one. I said this to Lockie last night. similarities to Rafinha's style of play, not the same level, but there's similarities in how he plays. He likes to run at people, step overs, all the kind of exciting stuff that gets bums off of seats. Whether he could hack the championship is another question, but I think that would be the one for me that makes the most sense. But I think this morning he was heading to Burnley and that's off now, but he was heading to Southampton. That's off.
Well, I think they signed a different Genk winger, didn't they, Burnley?
Yeah, they
did. They've just signed him actually, or have agreed a deal with him, haven't they? So yeah. Well, that means they're not coming in for Somerville at least, right? That's that dead in the water.
Yeah, I did see someone mention again today that Paintsil prefers Leeds to Southampton. I don't know where I've read that on Twitter, but it just made me laugh. That his people keep pushing Leeds. It's almost like they know that Nonto or Sinisterra are going to go. Like eventually, Leeds will pull the trigger on him. But you're running out of hours if he's not in the country yet. So.
I like Sakai from Crystal Palace. I think he's played 1 minute of Premier League football so far. 3 minutes of Premier League football so far this season. Was brilliant in League One last year. The
loan option can be a late sort of viable anchor, in the end, because the European I haven't seen Sinisterra. I would be disappointed if he leaves, because we'll be losing our best player and the best player in the league for me. And this late in the window, that's the problem. This late in the window, unless you bring in the one you just mentioned, Paintsil, for example, or Shair, the QPR one. It's gonna be a big gap to fill,
I don't see Shair because there's just been no mentioning at all with Leeds having any interest in him at all. Like, I just don't see him being the one.
No, I've said that.
Yeah, I think it's a bigger bid for Matt O'Reilly or it's a bigger bid for Paintsil. I think that's the two you probably look at, and maybe a backup striker if you're going to. But do we really want a player here who doesn't want to be here? Because he can say no to a loan to Bournemouth. He could just say I don't want to go to Bournemouth, which lots of players in this window have basically turned around and went, don't want to go to that club, and that's the end of it. If he goes, it's because he wants to go. Do we really want a player here who wants to rather play for Bournemouth than us?
Premier League, though, isn't it?
No, but it's the Premier League. It's not about Bournemouth.
Just the Premier League.
I know, but it's the Premier League.
They're playing a garden shed, but it's the Premier League anyway.
Yeah, I know. You're playing with 18,000 people in a shed. You know what I mean?
But people don't see it like that, German. These are footballers.
It's the wages.
Exactly.
It's the wages that they go back.
It's the Premier League as well, man.
I get that. For how long?
He'll have big ambitions. Maybe coming to Leeds a bit like Rafinha, because no doubt that's how his move will have been sold. Look, we got Rafinha moved to Barca. Sinisterra will be hoping, if he stays fit, that he can get a move to a top club. And there is the possibility of that, because I do believe he's that good. Just needs a sustained season of playing week in, week out. So I get why he's making the move. I do. But
my point is, if he didn't want to go, which apparently he said somebody outside the training ground, but he could have said anything.
Even if he did say that, man, it's like, he's not gonna say, mad? What shirt am I wearing, bruv?
I invented this chant. It wasn't seen, it was old and whingy.
But that's the thing for me. It's he could say no, but he's not going to say no. So do you really want a player here who would rather play for a club like Bournemouth? Because whatever about Bournemouth being in the Premier League,
but you're looking at it too.
Hang on. Sorry. Context, right? And this is what I mean by it. Yes, Bournemouth Premier League right now, but they haven't been, and they've been yo-yoed at best, right, over the last couple of years. They have a tiny stadium, they have a tiny fan base, which means they've got a tiny amount of revenue that club can bring in. We've seen Leeds talk all summer about we have to get the stadium to a bigger capacity because we need to 3 to 4 million revenue we get on a match day. We only get 1 million. We're at 36,000 seat stadium. We're bringing in 1 million on a Saturday. What are Bournemouth bringing in with 18,000 people in the stadium? A lot less. They have a smaller fan base globally as well, which means less investment and corporate investment in terms of sponsorship globally coming into their club. If they've thrown a huge amount of money at this transfer window in terms of wages outside of anything else, to give Areola what he wanted. If this doesn't work, how sustainable is that from a financial fair play perspective for Bournemouth? Like, how long can they go with this before they need to go, we need to start selling players now, or we're in a risk of breaching financial fair play? Because a club like that can't spend the amount of money that they've spent this summer unless they get success with it, or at least, league table success.
what I would say though on that, I think it's an exciting project. They've got a top manager. They've brought in some great players. They already have the likes of Solanke and Billing. I think they're so underrated at Premier League level, and I think they'll just flourish in a better side. And ultimately, it's the Premier League. These footballers don't care that they're bringing in X amount of revenue and they might get relegated because guess what?
That.
They'll just move to another Premier League club. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think they'll go down, by the way.
No, honestly, they won't. No, they definitely won't.
I think. Sorry, for me, here, do people genuinely have a problem with the 49ers now all of a sudden because Sinisterra is leaving? Are people actually saying that in the chat that the owners are the problem here? Really?
No, they're not.
Really?
They're not.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, for me, Sinisterra is a good season away at Bournemouth from a Champions League team.
Yeah,
a consistent good season. I genuinely think that because he was at Feyenoord and he absolutely destroyed it at Feyenoord. His stats were ridiculous. Yeah. He has a good year in the Premier League this year. He'll get a top move in Europe.
Yeah, I agree.
Top-ish. Yeah.
I don't know why Leeds would be denying that this move is happening if it's happening.
Stalling it, maybe.
Sometimes you believe too much, though, Joe. We have this debate all the time. They're going to push that rhetoric.
But also, Joe, sometimes you believe too little.
That's true as well. That is true. Well, yeah, that's fair. Touche.
All I'm saying is, Farkas said in his press conference that he expects the freedom to stay. 20 minutes later, he was off to Bournemouth. The common denominator between what was going on this morning and what's going on this afternoon is Daniel Farkas' press conference in the middle that says they're staying. Then he's not staying. Everyone has a meltdown again. And now Baron Cross has checked with the club, and the club have said there's no agreement in place. We haven't accepted anything from Bournemouth. So do we take Farkas' word and the club's word that are saying there's no deal here? Or do we take Fabrizio Romano's word, who's already been wrong this year about one thing?
What I would say, though, in response to that is they also told us via Graham Smith that Tyler Adams was going nowhere. Yeah. And then a couple of hours later, he was on his way to Bournemouth.
But apparently that was his decision. He pushed that. Hence the one line goodbye he got from the club, but didn't even wish him the best of luck in the future. Like they've even wished Cody Drama the best of luck in the future after what he's pulled at Leeds over the last 2 years.
There was more in that, wasn't there? Yeah.
Adams got up to a one line. So and the fact that a solicitor got involved in Adams's move as well. So there's slight differences for me in the two.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I'm also open to be incredibly wrong here. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. If he was to leave, what are you expecting in return? Just a like for like, or would you want them to go and maybe, hazard a 10 and maybe just go on the wingers we've got, or get a left back, or would you just want a Pencil, for example, who would be seen probably as a direct replacement?
Yeah.
Anybody?
No, I think we need, if Sinisterra leaves, a direct replacement, because you have, if you look role for role, you have on the left James and Gnonto. If you move Sinisterra on the right or on the left, you can move Gnonto and Somerville on either wing. You have Somerville and Poveda on the right, or Poveda you can move him like he did in pre-season in the 10, because there's no real 10 actually. We played with the Pyro and Rotter, so at least either you trust the players like Poveda or Gellert maybe, but it's a huge risk for me and I wouldn't do that. So I'll bring in a replacement like Pencil, and honestly the other role you can try to fill or invest, it's either Pencil or O'Reilly at this point. If you want to go role for role, it's Pencil. If you want to bring in a more central player and trust the players you have to play a part on the wing, maybe move Rutter on the wing and play O'Reilly like an advanced number 8. These are the two options for me. O'Reilly, we mentioned Billing before. In certain situations, it's similar to Billing for me. It's in the way he plays, So honestly, I still think we need a number 10 and a left back. If we have kept, I forgot to move the bird. Sorry, I'm gonna do that.
Apologize. You don't need to, bro. It's fine.
After that, if we have kept Cini this season, or if we keep Cini, I still thought we needed a number 10 and a left back, and it would have been, if we didn't get them, 7 out of 10 or 7.5 out of 10 window for me. If we don't, if we sell Cini and don't get either of those players, but bring in a replacement, it's a 7 from 8 slash 7.5. It'd be down to 7 for me. The level of the window. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah,
does anyone
quick.
No worries, but does anyone disagree?
No, I think I'd want 2 signings.
Yeah,
I think I want 2 signings, but I'm not really. There's 3 positions. There's 10 winger, left back, and I think if you get 2 of those 3, with either the money you sell him for or the wages you save in loaning him out, I think that's enough for me. They're not going to make 3 signings. I just think I'm just not sure. He's so good that if you just replaced him with one player, you kind of missed out there because he's going to be our highest paid player. The amount we'd save on wages by loaning him out. I'd want 2, and I wouldn't mind winger or a 10. I'd be happy with either. And then ideally a left back, but after today's press conference, I just think it's more likely we do some sort of 10. And then I think Paintsil is the most likely. That's been too far down the line for it to be another winger, but could be wrong.
You've already agreed. Believed you agreed. A lot of stuff was agreed with that deal, wasn't it? So you're kind of starting off further up than you would have done with someone else. I think. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think for me, you just need to replace the output Sinisterra could give to you. Yeah, and that's what you need to replace. Whether that's one player you can believe can do that, or a winger and a 10 potentially. Just replace what he can bring to the side. That's what you've got to do. And that would have been a lot of goals and assists. So probably 2 players.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Big up to Stacey, who's become a member. Well, has been a member now for 7 months. Feel like I've been here forever. You are a constant thorn in my side, Stacey. I can't lie to you. No, but thank you for being here. Yeah, I guess there is a real chat to be had though. Like, does this window become a lot poorer if we don't replace Cini with someone? It does to me a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking today you're talking 7, 8. If you get me a left back and a 10, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. And I understand I'm a little bit more enthusiastic than some might be and a little bit passion merchant at times. But if they don't replace him, it would be pretty poor, right?
He's your best player. Yeah.
He is your best player, but he hasn't played in every game already this year. So, you know, outside of the last match, and he does make it. I'm not trying to diminish what the guy brings to Leeds. He's a quality player and he brings an awful lot. But as Lockie's already said, we shouldn't have a player of that quality in the Championship. We really shouldn't. We didn't the last time we got out of the division. We didn't have a player of that level. You know, who could do the things Sinisterra could do. So the
squad's better now than last year, Joe.
I think so as well. I agree with that. I still think for me this was a 8 out of 10 window as it is. And if we could have added a left back and a 10 and kept everyone, it's a banging 10 out of 10 window. Losing Cini, maybe a 7, but if we bring in a replacement for him, I'm okay with that. That's still a really good window for me. Considering and the context of this is important, considering the absolute disaster that the 49ers and Farke had to walk into here to start the transfer window, to get to a point where we're even discussing the fact that this was possibly a positive window is a huge turnaround from 14 players walking out of the club. So, you know, there's a huge difference. And I know we are reactive because we live in the moment and we don't think about the entirety of the window. But if you look back at the whole window, from where we were to where we are is a massive step forward. And then if we can bring in a replacement, and this, I don't believe they weren't ready for this. I don't believe that Leeds didn't have a list of targets ready for it, because this was the most obvious thing that was going to happen in this window. Sinisterra would leave at the last minute, right on deadline day. We all thought that this. We've talked about this for months. We all thought that it would be a massive surprise at the end of the window if we still had Adams and Sinisterra. We don't have Adams. We probably won't have Sinisterra. So this shouldn't be a massive surprise. So therefore, it shouldn't be a massive surprise to the club either, who you would imagine doing the business they've done so far and being as tactical and analytical as they've been so far, they're ready for this. You would imagine.
Could there be a situation, folks? Just let me shout out. Listen, we've got 2,200 people watching. If you haven't already, smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And make sure you check every one of these content creators out. I just had a look, Liam, as well, and Sinisterra's on 65k a week. I think there's only Rutter that's on more than him, so it's a decent wedge that will be recouping. I was just going to ask though, does anyone think this could have been released to maybe be used as a tool to maybe get the Daka deal over the line? Because that's been reported a lot in the last hour. Because the fact that Leeds have said no, and it all seems to be, Bournemouth. I mean, maybe I'm just trying to look for positives, but all I'm seeing on Twitter at the minute is Daka. Daka. But
to AC Milan, right?
No, to Bournemouth. To Bournemouth, bro.
To Bournemouth.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Because
so
AC
10
Milan
minutes
fans...
ago, Jacob Steinberg has reported that Bournemouth are pushing to complete a deal for Leicester striker Patson Daka. It's been reported by a number of sources now as well. So I know he was linked to AC Milan earlier on, but maybe it's being used as a way to do that. I'm not sure, or am I just clutching?
It was almost like a done deal in Italy. This morning, my AC Milan supporting friends tested me asking opinions about Daka. It was at that stage, you know.
Yeah, no, I seen that as well, but I think they're getting Luka Jovic from Fiorentina.
Yeah,
according
Jovic,
to
they're getting him. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Bournemouth local press still saying that Daka's that they're still trying to push hard to get the Daka deal done. But yeah, a bit of an odd. Yeah, I don't know, a bit of an odd front. But is that a loan as well? Because if you get both of them in loan, you've spent hardly any money. What's it going to be? $1 million total, maybe combined for loan fees, maybe 1.5. To get those two players in for that would be a bit of a touch. So it depends if they're trying to buy him or not, or if it's a loan deal. We've also got the JB sale as well. If they sell JB for $5 million, that only adds to the pot to replace.
That's been thingy from Phil. That's not happening apparently.
He's not going anywhere now.
Could be going loan.
Okay.
Well, I'll try to find it. He was in like JB situation is too complicated. Neither deal progressing, and now looking likely he'll stay at least until January.
Well,
that means he's got a wedge for his age then. If that's not progressing,
100%.
Fleetwood can't afford it.
Yeah, basically, like bloody Sonny Perkins.
JB staying then.
Yeah.
Not good for him. Absolutely not good for him.
No,
he needed to go and play. You know, the other offer was Valenciennes, if I reckon, from France, but it was a permanent. And
5 million.
Of course, if we believe in the player, it's not good to sell him permanently, of course. But surely there's another club in League One or even League One. Okay, even a mid-table League One club willing to take him. You know, he was an highly rated midfielder in the end. And if there's not, we need to reconsider at this stage the deal when we got him from Man City in the Calvin deal, because we could have got Lavia in the end last season instead of him, and we decided to go for JB. He's a good player, he's a good youngster, but not at this level yet. He needs to go and play. Surely there's another League One club. He is an under-20 England international. He played the under-20 Worker. He wasn't that bad, honestly. I'm surprised.
Yeah, same, mate. We've had Solbakken not signed for Olympiacos yet, says Kilgallen, one to watch potentially. Connor McClund says, I wouldn't mind Target and O'Reilly. I think people have asked about Target and Newcastle have said, no, mate, I wouldn't mind him as well at this level. Timing stinks, Q and Auto style trolley dash down the whoopsie aisle. I don't think there'll be any of that from these fellas, to be honest. Southie has just become a member.
We will have prepared for this. He's the best player in the team.
I don't.
At least to some extent, right? Surely.
Yeah, I don't see how this is the shit show everyone's thinking that they're saying, oh, final day. Sky have monetized an entire day of a year because this stuff happens. This happens to every club. I mean, the amount of players moving today alone will probably Blitzspot was done in the rest of the month. So like this happens. So again, it was like if he was gonna go, it was going to be last move thing. Same with Leeds last night going for Matt O'Reilly again. That's designed deliberately to go late, get him at the best price because, they might want to do something else themselves at that point and the money might be useful to them. Same with Kamara going late for Kamara and same with going late for the other players we went for as well. So this happens. This is deadline day. This is why it exists, is because teams will wait till the last second to try and get the best deal. So I don't think anyone is sitting in Leeds shocked that the phone rang this morning and someone's put a bid in for Sinisterra. I think they were fully expecting it and waiting on it. Yeah, it's not great timing, but we didn't even have Rafinha lined up at this point when we signed him. He wasn't even mentioned. It was 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. All of a sudden, a plane was flying into Leeds with Rafinha on it. And by 10 o'clock, so there's loads of time. Like on deadline day, what, we got 6 hours left. That's a huge amount of time.
Well, even on Ojo, we did that with like 10 minutes to go, didn't we?
Literally with 10 minutes to go, that was good. So I mean, there's a lot. I mean, the medicals don't have to.
It's the anniversary of Bamba Dieng not boarding the flight today.
Oh, is it?
What a day
that was.
We're in a better place than we were that day.
I'm just waiting to see if anything else is gonna break. It's gonna one that's gonna be rumble on, isn't it? Really, I think it's gonna be one that rumble on.
Yeah. I think that the structure of the deal is going to be important, isn't it? Like, what is it? Loan to buy, if it happens. I mean, straight buy. Is that what we're pushing for? So we've got more cash, or do we want, I don't know, loan with no option, and Bournemouth are pushing for the option? It feels like for them to say it was on, and then let's say it wasn't. There's some key element of the deal that we're not agreeing on with them, which I just wonder what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, will be playoffs quality 100%, but the difference for top two is Sinisterra. He was unbelievable.
You just got to replace his output.
I agree. I agree. Unless we bring in Painter.
You've got to replace what you lose. It's as simple as that. If we don't replace him, obviously that's potentially 30 goal involvements.
Yeah,
this is a lot. If you keep him,
it is a lot. You're right. Yeah, it is. The Buonanotte thing. The manager De Zerbi said earlier on is not available. That's been reported by the Athletic Brighton reporter, probably in their presser. But he came out earlier on and said that he's not available. So
just seen Dak in the chat.
Bradley Dak.
Bradley Dak.
Yeah, Bradley Dak.
Honestly, Loki, in FIFA 20, I bought him at Leeds. Honestly, I was ahead of this one. Always calling.
You were ahead of the curve, man.
The new EA football game is going to come out, and for no apparent reason, Bradley Dak could be in the Leeds United squad. Just based on this.
Brilliant. I love it. Stephen says, guys, he is the best player in the league.
Yeah,
him going will be a massive blow on the pitch and the fear we give to other teams. 100%. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but at least we're not giving it to somebody in the division. You know, that's true. Important as well.
Yeah. More about mitigating the goals we lost in Cine, hard to replace the output. Just for devil's advocate, he's only got one this season.
He'd no assists last year. None as a winger. 0 assists.
And he will get injured. He will.
Yeah. So we've nothing to replace yet.
No,
is what I'm trying to say.
Did you get the same reaction that I get when I see Sinisterra fall over?
Abject fear.
What? Is he injured?
Yeah, because if you look at last year, every time he hit the ground last year, he went off injured. He never came back onto the pitch. He left the field, never came back on. And like every time I see him fall over, I'm like, oh, he gone again. This will be him out for 2 weeks or 3 weeks now again. Like he is made of biscuits. Like,
yeah.
Look at his injury history over the last 5 seasons. Like he's made of biscuits. He's a very fancy packet of biscuits, but he is a packet of biscuits.
Listen, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I rate him. I love him. People know I took shots in here for saying he was better than Nonto. I've always said he's the best player. But what I'm saying is people are like, replace output. He's only got 1 goal this season. And we've brought in Joe Pirro. So he's going to get...
But I'm trying to the 49ers not going to say that, are they? They're not going to go, he's only scored.
No.
But you have to try and what could he do? He could potentially be injured all season. That is true. But he could also potentially get up to 25, 30 goal involvements.
True.
So you have to prepare for that, I guess, and get a player in who is capable of at least bolstering those numbers. Because if he stays fit in a season or even for 3/4 of it, that's a lot of goals or assists. You know what I mean? You do need to replace it 100%.
And about the replacement, actually, because they were asking it, because of course the main linked one is Paintsel. Of course, the German transfer window has just shut. The Belgian one is open till the 6th of September. But of course, if you want to bring him in, you have to abide by the UK transfer window.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So
it doesn't really matter, unless you want to ship a player out to Belgium. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fair. 3 against 4 says, if Cine goes, how many games before both his knees explode mid-game after doing something awesome? That's a fair shout. Someone says 1 goal, Joe. He's only played 1 game. Okay, fair enough. He's got 100% strike rate.
Look at his output last season. He is a great player. I'm not taking it away, but look at his output last season. As a winger, he produced 0 assists last season. None. Yes, he scored 8 goals, but he had no assists. So from a winger whose job is to create chances for a club, he didn't last season. He didn't get any assists.
My thingy with that though, Jay, is that's true. The season before, obviously in Holland, but we're in the Championship, so it's more that level, I guess. I think he got over like 15, and he was fit the entire season. He had 0 injuries that year.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
It depends which one you get. It depends which player you get.
That's the part. Which version of Sinisterra do you get in the end? And look, I just keep saying, I'm just not gonna. Maybe I'm preparing myself for the inevitable that he's leaving. So I'm like, I get angry about him leaving. I'm like, oh God, he's dead to me. I can get over it quicker maybe. But yeah, at this point, I just think, fine, if you don't want to be here, go. Just go. Get on with it. Move on. We'll get players that do want to be here. I'm really happy with the players that have come in. They've all signed 4-year contracts. They're all clearly determined to help us get promoted, and I'm okay with that. I'd much rather have. I've always said, even when I played, when I coached, I've always said it. I'd rather have 11 players that run through a brick wall than 2 or 3 world class or special talents that can't be arsed half the time. If you don't want to be here, go. But get players in that do want to be here, because if they work hard, look at Berardi, not the most skillful player in the world, but ran through brick walls. But he's gave everything for us.
Yeah.
So
honestly, on Cine, there was also a difference for me, because we were playing an arrow system, and of course he was injured, and there's a difference between playing under Jesse Marsh and Javi Gracia and Arne Slot. He was the go-to guy, like the Americans say in their sports, at Feyenoord, and he was like along with Dessers, their main player who outbroke them to the Conference League final. So, and also the Dutch league, the Eredivisie is different to the Premier League. It's more similar to the German one. The defenses are not so great, and yeah, it's a mixture between the Italian one probably and the German one. Italian one going forward and the German one going at the defense. So it's that was also a difference for me in not getting assists last season.
Spencer Raymond says. Yeah. Spencer Raymond says maybe something, but maybe not. The Cine thing came directly after I saw a random Twitter account post about it. Wonder if Fabrizio is just... No, it's come from Mike McGrath as well. It's come from a lot of reputable sources, and Phil and Graham have then after obviously spoke to the club. If it was whack, they'd have just gone, oh, no, what are you talking about? But they've said, look, there's several clubs interested in him. So I wish you were right, though, Spencer.
Changed. But that hasn't changed. I think clubs interested in him the entire window, but there hasn't been any formal bids for the player. What Phil and Aaron have been saying is there isn't an agreement in place.
No, yeah. And maybe you're right, Spencer. Maybe he is just maybe he has just jumped the gun. I hope you're right, mate. But we shall have to wait and see. G. James Smith says we're basically discussing. What do you want me to do, broski? What do you want me to do? Should we just turn it off? I don't know what you want me to do, bro.
We're just having a chat.
We're just having a chat, bro.
Apparently, we're talking bollocks as well, and I talk too much.
Yeah, true.
Blah blah blah.
Close deadline day now. It'd be nice, innit? I wish it weren't on till 11 o'clock.
Yeah, let's do it now.
I wish it went on till 11 o'clock.
What's it like? I'm getting a bit of stick here in the chat, and I just want to address this real quick, Joe, if I can.
Just get agitated, sat there reading the chat.
I am because I talk positively about my club.
Yeah.
I'm talking bollocks, and because I talk positively about my club, I should get a job with the 49ers. That's what people are saying, right? What's it like to be a permanently miserable Leeds fan? Like, I mean, go support somebody else if you're going to be miserable all the time.
I'd take a job at the 49ers right now.
Do it right now, actually. Mate. Put your hand off.
No hesitation.
Right now.
I'm looking for a job at Al Ittihad.
It's like we have a group of fans, but it's like we have a group of fans who need to be professionally miserable. Like, they're not happy with Leeds unless they're unhappy with Leeds. And it's the same people, same melodrama breakdown on Twitter when something gets said and all of a sudden the world's on fire again and Leeds are screwed. And God, we've been through an awful lot worse than this. And just because I want to be positive about my club that I support, Jesus, what's happened in football?
And we're potentially losing a player that we were going to lose anyway.
Indian Jerry is it's not being about positive or negative. It's about being objective and exactly realistic and give your opinions. So of course, people can agree, people can disagree.
This is the thing.
We're just,
everyone reacts differently.
Discussing, that's the fun part. Discussing about football, lads.
Yeah, exactly. Opinions change like the wind, don't they? If this had have happened 2 weeks ago, I'd have been fuming. I'd have been saying get 49ers out. As it happens, by tomorrow, I'll probably be wearing a 49ers jersey. I changed my opinion like the wind, but you're allowed to do that. Things change, right?
I was on Joe's stream after the Salford game, Joe. I was reading the chat, and it was so negative. I couldn't deal with it. I was sitting going, "What's wrong?" Wow, I couldn't.
Everyone deals with things differently, don't they? That's what I mean. But I tend to be a little bit more. I question everything. Like I do think, Joe, sometimes you believe too much, as you've said to me that I believe too little, and we've obviously disputed over that before. And that's how it is, isn't it? That's
the reality is probably somewhere in the middle of both.
Exactly.
But then Leeds don't operate in middle ground. We operate in extremes. That's been Leeds for years. We operate in either it's brilliant or it's crap, and we don't operate in that middle space of where the reality is.
No, exactly. I agree. What's this one here? AFC Bournemouth bigger club. I mean, that's not true, is it? But I hear you, bro.
Come on, lads. Come on. Let's look at the trophy cabinet. Don't make me laugh, lads. Come on. No, honestly, I respect Bournemouth, but let's be realistic. Bournemouth, I admire what you've done. Coming from League One to the Championship, being well run by your previous owner, because he was a great owner. A community club. Slowly going up. I remember when you had was it Charlie Austin? They had Charlie Austin, right? Yeah, I think. Or also Vokes, and I admire what you've done. But let's be realistic. Let's look at the whole history. Of course, you are in the Premier League right now, so looking at the level of the league, you are the better club. But look at the history. Leeds United have played in European Cup finals. Leeds United have finished second in the league. So I don't think it's arguable, but I wish you well, honestly. I wish you well for the season. But yeah, let's be realistic about the history, about who's the bigger club, in the whole picture of history of football.
Yeah, but they've got Michael B. Jordan. We've only got Michael Phelps.
Yeah, agreed.
So.
Yeah, that's true.
Andrea, what you're trying to say is you've won nothing of any significance, Bournemouth. Get back in your box.
It's not that guy earlier, Andre, who tried to thingy on history, so he scored him and deleted his tweet.
No. He apologized. No bad feelings, You
made him apologize.
Do clubs have trophy cabinets for Football League trophy runners-up medals? Do they build trophy cabinets for that, or did they just put them in
no,
a drawer?
they look at Spurs, Jer. They just look at Spurs.
At least they've got a League Cup, a couple of preseason.
This is how we're dealing with it now, folks. Is throwing slander at other football clubs. Stephen Greensdale said, would make no sense to loan Sinisterra out when we don't have to, especially as doing so would harm our chance of promotion. Might as well loan out all the goalkeepers. Should be a hard no. Tyler Clothier, but not as big. Whoa, okay. Sorry, Wizardy, be careful. Hey guys, sorry if this was answered already, but why loan Cini? Isn't the loan clause over? I don't get it. Right. Boys, let's pick the bones out of it. Why are we loaning him? What's the crack? Why are we doing it? Why, when we've said no up to this point, why, if by 11 o'clock we've loaned him, why are we doing it? Can anyone answer that question from a business sense?
I'll leave this to the other guys. I have no idea.
Yeah.
No,
does anyone have a clue?
I was wondering too. Because of Nyonto wanting to leave, and we have forbid it. We were stopped him from leaving, And if Sinisterra wants to leave right now, we are allowing him to leave. If that happens and materialize, of course, this move to Bournemouth. So what's the difference between Nyonto and Sinisterra? Because arguably we are letting the best player leave, the better player, leave between the two of them for me. So I'm honestly, I'm really reflecting about this because I want to see the sense in it. Because if it's a straight loan, maybe it's because we are hoping to get back in the Premier League. So we get him back next season if we are back in the league. But if it's along with an option to buy, honestly, I want to see how much is the option to buy, because how much we spent for him 2023, if I remember correctly, 23, 24.
23.
So yeah, 23. I hope it's way higher than that, if that's the case, because Bournemouth are a club on the rise in terms of investment, as we've seen this season, bringing in Kerkez and of course Tyler Adams, Max Aarons. Last season Senesi, the Zabarni, they do smart business. So honestly, I don't see the sense and the difference between him and the Gnonto situation, because Gnonto wants to leave, and we've stuck in it saying it's not for sale. What's the difference between him and Sinisterra, if the move materializes, of course, because we don't know if he's going to move there, down south, or not.
Just to break Lockie's heart a little bit more as well, Man City winger Oscar Bob is being considered by Lazio. That's coming from
at least not Leicester.
Yeah, true.
This day is really dark. This is a dark
It was always going to be like this, Lockie. It was always going to be a day of retention more than anything else. So it was always going to be this kind of a day for you, mate.
Yeah, I'm just having a look on Twitter. Origi close to joining Nottingham Forest.
He'll continue his run of not scoring any goals then.
Tottenham, Conor Gallagher, Brennan Johnson, Spurs.
I am Vic, I am more sad about Bob.
Yeah, Johnny Evans has joined Manchester United on a 1-year deal. Big moves.
Yeah, he's been training with them all summer.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
To just remember, Leeds is love-hate city of sports. I'm Leeds forever. David Barker with the super sticker, big up. 3 against 4 says Cine agent and Bournemouth are testing Leeds' appetite to defend the legality of the expiring loan clause. In my opinion, timing is to put pressure on. I hope you're right, and I also love your picture, my man. Sopranos is up there. Let's hope that is
nail on the head, Joe. I think that's absolutely nail on. Yeah, I think that's nail on the head. I think that I don't necessarily know if his agent was happy with the explanation around the loan clause. The fact that they explored that for 2 weeks after it expired meant that there was enough in there that it didn't go away immediately. There was enough in there to take him out of the squad for 2 weeks to try and sort it out. So, Victor Orta has an awful lot to answer for, a hell of a lot to answer for.
He does, man.
In terms of how they structured these deals as well, because if it's a straightforward loan that expires, then it expires when it expires. But these don't seem to be straightforward in any of these deals. The fact that Adam's solicitor got involved in his deal as well suggests that there's slightly more nuance to these clauses than a simple, straightforward, well, on this date it expires and after you can't move. So, yeah, there's probably, the fact that it's coming from Romano as well, and bearing in mind very little has come out about Leeds from Romano that's been accurate this year. The fact that it's coming from Romano suggests it's coming from his agent and not from anyone inside the club, which then will obviously give off the situation we're in now, where you've got some people saying it's not happening and other people saying it is happening. You'd get that split from an agent talking to Romano and not the club. They're very, under the agent's opinion of things, yeah, he's going, but on the Leeds side of it, he's not going. So there's conflicting reports there. Whether they get to a deal in the middle, it could very well become a Willie Gnonto situation, where Sinisterra turns around and goes, I want to go now. But we'll have to wait and see with that, and it'll come out when the dust is settled.
And the agent is Wasserman Agency, and we know that in the past in the NFL, they didn't have a good relationship with the 49ers management team, and I think Liam knows better than me because he follows the NFL better, and obviously more than us, of course. But I know that they didn't have a good relationship when dealing with the Wasserman players, because they tried to play elbow with them about contracts,
Yeah, and he's a bit of a super agent as well. It's very different to Gnonto, where it's that type of agency. This is like one of the biggest agencies in the world. So he's going to be pushed. Well, I've already said before that he's pushing it every day to try and move from an agent's perspective, because he knows he's going to get money out of this, right, as an agent, whether that's this summer or it's next summer if he gets a massive move. So I think some of this is the agent trying to push it. And they might be going down the line of, oh, look, we've wanted to leave, but we haven't kicked up a fuss. Do you know what I mean? Let him leave for a year and come back, rather than Gnonto, who obviously kicked up a fuss, and we kind of said, no, that's it. We're going to add more to his value. We're going to make it difficult for you to go. Whereas now it's like Sinisterra's agent saying, no, he's been good. He played in a cup game against Salford City the other night. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let us go on loan for a year to the Premier League, and then we'll come back. Do trying to test our resolve to see what we do, because it will save us a lot of money. But yeah, I think that's, for me, is what it is. It's to do with the relationship and how that loan clause issue expired or didn't expire. So I told you last Saturday, didn't I, that the talk was that it wasn't expired, even though Leeds say it was expired. So I do feel like there's some sort of issue with was it or was it not, and this might be a favour to say, look, just go out on loan, don't sue us or whatever the situation would be.
That's the thing, innit? Terry Gilchrist has just become a member of the Just Joe Football Show. Thank you so much for your continued support, Terry. Listen, we've got 2,360 people watching, which is absolutely insane. If you could all smash a like on the video for me, please. And please subscribe as well. We're on 23,891. So we're so close to hitting that magic number of 24. What I'm going to quickly do as well is just go on the last episode of The Final Word and copy everyone's channels who contributes on here. And just going to copy that in the description as well. So if you could all subscribe to the respective channels as well, that would be great. Okay. But please subscribe if you're new. Let's see if we can hit 24k by the end of tonight. It's not out of the realms of possibility with the amount of people that is here. I'd imagine a lot of you aren't subscribed to the channel, to be honest. So please do, if you aren't already. Okay, yeah, it's all seems to have gone a little bit quiet, to be honest, as you've all been talking. I've been scrolling Twitter and all that sort of stuff, and I can't really see. Like, what do we expect the next move to be? Is it a case of Leeds United are waiting for that to go through? Obviously, they're going to be busy just in case, aren't they? They're going to have contingency plans.
Yeah. They need to be able to pull a lever immediately if something happens.
Exactly.
Like, it has to be rapid. So, I mean, Farkas said it. We'll be awake right up until the window closes to see what happens. There's clearly... sorry, chat's put me off. There's clearly...
Wave at them.
There's clearly a few quid floating around there, and they're clearly looking at another midfield option in an attacking sense. You know, I mean, go through what Farkas said today about Kamara and about Groove. They are like replacements for Ampadu and for Archie. So there is still that area up front of them that we need to get somebody looked at. The fact that they were looking at throwing 4 million at Sobak and then throwing 10 million at Matty O'Reilly yesterday, and both confirmed as bids they put in, that means there's 14 million sitting there that Leeds could do something with. Now, we've seen before with Leeds, before they do a deal, it gets incredibly quiet and then something happens. So silence in some cases is golden. In this stage, it could just mean that they're lining something up, or they're just, again, keeping their mouth shut, keeping their head down and go, let's just wait and see what happens here. It's going to be a big last couple of hours, I think, tonight. And I think it's going to be, again, a case of keep the players more so than sign anybody else.
Yeah, no, fair. Big shout out to Wizardry, who's just come a member. Chronicles says Connor will have topped himself.
He sent me a voice note. He sent me a voice note the minute that came out. Yeah,
I can imagine. Andy Toon with the super sticker. Big up to Andy. I can imagine. I'm surprised I had a message myself, but yeah.
Can I ask something?
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
Go on, mate.
To everyone, as of right now, this second, is he staying or going? What are we saying?
So I've asked the chat that, so let's do that then. I think he goes.
Same.
Yeah, he goes.
Yeah, I think he goes. Yeah. Honestly,
I'm conflicted. That's a clean sweep.
Yeah. I'm conflicted, but yeah.
Conflicted how? Because you don't want him to? Or...
no, I think it's 80% going, 20% staying right now. Probably 70-30. I'm going to say 70-30 leaving, 30% staying.
Okay, well, there's 100% on the panel. There's 55% in the chat. So 55% of people think yes. The other lot say he's staying. I'd love to be able to say to someone, Locker, do you think he's staying? Actually, you didn't say.
Yeah.
You think he's staying? Right, so let's let's go with it, bro. Let's go with it.
You're too positive. You're too positive, Locky. You're too positive. You're not a good
just for the content. Tell us why.
Because I like him a lot, and I think he's really good. And if he doesn't, I might cry. I need him to stage up. I'm trying to rationalise if he goes. But I'm thinking...
Well, you've been saying all week he's going though, bro. You should have been prepared for this moment.
It's because he's got a Sinisterra video ready to go. So that's right.
Exactly.
Honestly, Joe, there's no logic.
For me,
No logic.
Argentina.
Yeah, pure hype.
I just think Lucky's determined to have his heart broken this window. He just teed himself up for disappointment.
I know.
Yeah. Funny how you all trust Romano over the club. Is that Jer?
Jer doesn't.
Is that your burner account, Jer?
I have multiple burner accounts just for this kind of stuff, Joe. Yeah.
No, but what I will say in response to that, it's not just him. It's also come from Mike McGrath at the Telegraph as well, who Phil's actually quoted in his tweet as well. So I think there's no smoke without fire, as they say, but it's obviously not. Basically, Romano said, "Here we go." Now, normally, if it's "here we go," it's almost done. It's clearly he's gone too soon because it's not "here we go." So that's the bit we're waiting on, isn't it?
Well, we're not saying he's going to
Bournemouth,
he's just going.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, he could go. Yeah. There's a host of clubs after him.
He did do a whole "here we go" for Amiri.
Yeah, but I don't think you can really blame him that because I think the club thought he was faking "here we go."
He wasn't even in the country at that stage, and he was like, "Here we go, done deal." And then I've got an exclusive. I've got an exclusive on this. Like, no, you don't.
He literally came to Fort Patch and Daniel Fark thought the deal were done. Really, so it was about as "here we go" as you get. Like,
you know what it is as well, Joe? Fark was so happy in his press conference. It's like, I don't want him to break his heart. I can't deal with it. Imagine how he's feeling right now.
What were you going to say, Liam?
I was just laughing because we all absolutely slated the photo of him in town not being him, and then it came out that Phil said that was him. So I was just like,
that was me. It was something. It was me who was slating it. Yeah.
I started tagging his clothes off and everything, and now it was him.
I sent Joe a picture of the back of his head, and then the back of him, and the actual picture of Amiri's back of his head, and I was trying to tell him that they it was the same. It was the fade was exactly the same.
I just went, not you as well, for fuck's sake.
I've seen a tweet. You remember that video of that Irish lad saying, and that is all. Till next week. You remember that video? No.
No.
Well, there's someone posted a picture of Sinisterra leaving Topaz saying, "I'm staying at Leeds for an hour."
Joe Donahue just tweeted as well. Said loan clauses are a bit shite, aren't they?
No. The understatement of the transfer window.
But that also tells me that that's not positive though either. So he probably knows a little bit more than what he's letting on. Do you know what I mean?
They've both been saying loan for weeks. The two of them, Graham Smith and Joe. Every time Graham talks, he says whether it's temporary move or permanent move. But Graham has said consistently both of those things. So this was never cut and dry.
No, it wasn't. No, yeah, it is. Yeah, frustrating to say the least, isn't it? That this looks like it could happen anyway. But the positive thing from me right now, the thing that I'm clinging on to, is the fact that you would have imagined we'd have had. He's in Bournemouth. He's having his medical. We haven't had anything. So Romano said that. The Leeds-based journalist said this, and then it's just gone stale. There's nothing at all.
Do we believe the stuff on Wacko from the dude on Wacko who appears to be
Harry Crack? Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
because he said last night no big outgoings tomorrow.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
It feels
you can never predict a big.
Like teams are trying to really test Leeds and the contract situation, aren't they? And trying to figure out what's going on with it. Maybe Parag's stepped in since that tweet or whatever and said, no, listen here, you. I don't know.
It'll be
maybe Jack Harrison refused to let him go on the last day.
I swear he'll be asleep.
At the end of the day, if he does, let's get a replacement.
Yeah, true. Let's just
don't answer the phone for the next 6 hours.
Or just drag it out for so long that it's
that's exactly it.
11 o'clock, then we go, nah, shame.
There's once you weigh.
Get a couple of clubs involved in this. Get a bit of a loan bidding going on. Get him off. Get him as far away from Leeds as you can to do a medical. Go down to Bournemouth. Off you go. Go do your medical, and then just don't answer the phone for the rest of the night.
100%. We've got how long now? 5:45. It shuts at 11, doesn't it? So that's what, 5 hours and 15 minutes?
And then you have the hour
in Italy at 8
at the end of it as well. You've got 11 to 12 for the deal sheets.
The last bits, yeah. That'll be us, won't it? The deal sheet's gone in for City at Bournemouth. We'll be like,
yeah, whilst we're trying to predict a lineup for the 5th time.
Oh, that's going to be fun, isn't it? Trying to predict the lineup for tomorrow.
I know. Well,
this would have hurt a lot less if he was already injured, you know?
Yeah,
Because you'd be like, well, he's not even
true.
so we can move on.
True. Who would you all choose to replace him? We'll finish up with that because I don't want to keep the lads all night. Give them a little break because it's gone really quiet. But know that get your notifications on. And I know Joe's doing something on his channel a little bit later on, but I'll be covering it on mine as well. But going over to Joe, if you've seen too much of me, it's not a problem. I know probably all the content creators will be doing bits at around the deadline time. So take your pick, but we'll be here. Before we leave, though, I'll come back to Connor. Why would Farker say take a massive bid for City? Don't know. He's probably been given promises. He's not the man making the ultimate end decision. We have to, especially when it comes to money and clubs and all that. So he can only go on what has been told. I don't think he's taking any stick for this. Who would you choose to replace him? Just round the houses to finish up, folks. I'll start with you, Lockie.
Sakai.
Saki. Andrea?
Pencil.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah, Pencil or Matt O'Reilly.
Okay, and Andrea? Not Andrea, Liam?
Pencil.
Sorry.
That's an honour. Is it the glasses?
Glasses, I think. Yeah, I'm that tired. You've just like gone into one.
Paintsil or Jack Clark?
Oh, that's it. I think Liam might know something there. Just watch. Hold on to your hats, folks.
Don't you dare.
Would you though, Liam? Would you bring him back after what he said when he left?
Yeah,
oh, here we go. Look at Joe again, man. This is the badge. You do no. That's a Joe again. What did he say?
So when him and Nketiah left at the same time, Nketiah cancelled his loan deal and he went back to Arsenal, and Jack Clark went to QPR, and there was a picture of Jack Clark coming off the bench for his debut for QPR, and Nketiah liked it, and apparently there was a bit of stuff online between the two of them where they had said about they were delighted to get away from Leeds.
They were there at the same time.
They were there at the same time, yeah.
No, they weren't.
Maybe it wasn't Nketiah then. Maybe it was a different player, but there was a player on loan.
Wasn't Nketiah because Jack Clark went in the summer.
Yeah, he went to Did he go?
He had one.
No, you're right. Sorry.
In January.
No, but we didn't loan him to QPR. That was Spurs.
No, we sold him.
Spurs.
We sold him to
We didn't
Spurs.
sell him to QPR.
Sorry, I'm mixing them up.
Then he came back
Maybe
on
it was
loan.
somebody else coming on for QPR and Jack. There was a
Get in the bin.
Yeah, all right.
No, I remember that, sure. I remember that. I
There was
remember
something about a tweet, an Instagram picture I was going out.
Yeah, he put on an Instagram picture celebrating their win against Leeds.
Jack Clark came back on loan to Leeds.
Yeah, he came back on loan.
His
didn't play.
was wrong.
That's the
yeah.
loan.
Sorry,
But yeah, at the time, how old was he? 17, 18?
Yeah,
18.
listen, Jack Clark, Joe's just that much of a chest badge smacker that you can't do anything, can you? Bring him on. Bring Jack Clark home. For me, my two picks, and this will really hurt Joe, will be Matt O'Reilly and Charlie Taylor. That would be my two picks with the money that we save. But yeah, we'll leave that for now, folks. I will be back live if anything else happens. I'm going to get some food and that, and then try and have a nap. And then when I have a nap, something will happen. So I'll see you soon. Thanks to these lads coming on as well. Make sure you check out the channels, and we'll see you in a bit.